This is the golden storybook and tape called A Tiny Toon Adventure, Lost in the Funhouse. The story was written by Jack Harris. Whenever you hear this sound, you'll know that it's time to turn the page. Are you ready to begin? Please find the page where you see Buster and his friends leaving Acme Luniversity. Bring! The school bell rang at Acme Luniversity. Buster Bunny, Babs Bunny, Plucky Duck, Furball, Sweetie, and Hampton all ran outside.
It's time to party, Buster style,
said Buster.
Today's an extra special day. Our Thrills and Spills class is sending us on a field trip to the Acme Amusement Park to see the sights, ride the rides, have fun in the funhouse, and eat the food,
said Hampton.
That's the kind of assignment I like best.
The Acme Amusement Park was a great place. There were 1,000,001 things to do.
Whee!
Yelled Sweetie on the Ferris wheel. Cried Furball as he bumped the bumper cars.
Yeah!
Screamed Plucky on the roller coaster.
When do we eat?
Whined Hampton on every ride.
It doesn't get any better than this,
said Buster as he led everybody to the funhouse.
It looks weird,
said Babs as she peeked inside.
When do we eat?
Whined Hampton.
We eat when we're done having fun,
Plucky told Hampton. But Plucky was nervous about entering the spooky funhouse. Then he had an idea.
Hampton, if you lead the way, you'll be the first one out and the first one to the snack bar,
he said. Carefully, Hampton crept into the funhouse. It was dark, and suddenly something large and strange stood in front of him.
Yikes!
He screamed, but then he looked again.
It's only me,
Hampton laughed.
In a funhouse mirror.
Hampton hurried down the hall, looking into mirror after mirror, until he stopped short. He had found a mirror that he really liked. His reflection was tall and lean, the best he'd ever seen.
This one looks exactly like me,
he said. Soon, Buster led the rest of his friends into the funhouse and past the many magical mirrors. They twisted and turned, wiggled and waved until they liked what they saw. Buster said,
I look like a super rabbit.
Babs said,
I look like a superstar.
Plucky said,
I look like an eagle.
Sweetie said,
I look like a sensational singer.
Furball said,
I look like a lion.
Meanwhile, Hampton hurried on through the funhouse. Soon he found himself lost in a maze of mirrors. He went this way and that way and bumped his snout and started to shout.
Help! I'm lost!
Hampton's friends all heard him hollering for help.
We have to hunt for Hampton,
said Buster. Plucky Duck looked at himself in the mirror. He felt heroic.
I'll find that pig,
he said as he flew off feeling like an American eagle. But soon Plucky was also lost in the maze of mirrors. He flew this way and that way and bumped his beak and began to bellow.
That's just dandy. Now there are dozens of dizzy ducks in the dark.
Help!
He heard Hampton holler.
I'm getting hungry.
The rest of the gang heard Hampton hollering and Plucky Duck bellowing.
We have to hunt for Hampton and pinpoint Plucky,
said Buster. Furball looked at himself in the mirror. He felt brave.
I'll find that hungry Hampton and that dizzy duck,
he said as he raced off feeling like a lion. But soon Furball found himself lost in the maze of mirrors. He ran this way and that way and tripped on his tail, which caused him to quietly cry.
Help!
He heard Hampton holler.
I need food.
The remaining friends heard Hampton hollering, Plucky Duck bellowing, and Furball fussing.
We have to hunt for Hampton, pinpoint Plucky, and find Furball,
said Buster. Sweetie looked at herself in the mirror.
I'll find that piggy pig, that funny fowl, and that tomfool tomcat. They can follow my sweet song.
along,
she said as she flew off fast. But soon she found herself lost in the maze of mirrors. She flew this way and that way until she sang herself silly.
Help!
She heard Hampton holler.
I'm starving!
Now Buster and Babs heard Hampton hollering, Plucky Duck bellowing, Furball fussing, and Sweetie singing.
Now we have to hunt for Hampton, pinpoint Plucky, find Furball, and search for Sweetie,
said Buster.
We'll have to be the heroes.
Just like in the movies,
said Babs. Soon they spotted Sweetie.
I sang too hard.
She could only whisper.
Help!
They heard Hampton holler.
I'm famished! Now, all we have to do is find Furball, pinpoint Plucky, and hunt for Hampton,
said Buster. The trio trekked through the funhouse until they found the flustered Furball twisting his tail.
You're safe with us now,
said Babs.
Meow.
Said Furball.
Help!
They heard Hampton holler.
I need supper!
The foursome finally pinpointed Plucky. He was unbending his beak so he could speak.
Just my luck
He clucked.
to be a flexible duck.
Well, we pinpointed Plucky, successfully sought Sweetie, and found Furball.
Said Buster.
Now all we have to do is hunt for Hampton.
They all listened for Hampton's hollering, but heard nothing. Had something happened to Hampton? Now the friends were worried about hungry Hampton. They looked this way and that way, but they couldn't find him or hear him anywhere, here or there. Finally, the group bumped and bumbled and bonked their way through the maze of mirrors and out of the funhouse. Once outside, they heard,
Hi! What took you so long?
It's Hampton.
shouted Babs.
He's over there at the snack bar.
How did you find your way out of the funhouse?
Buster asked.
Oh, it was easy.
Hampton said.
When I couldn't yell for help anymore, I decided to focus on the smell of the food and followed it right out of the funhouse.
Buster and Babs and Sweetie and Plucky and Furball all looked at Hampton. They'd been bonked and bruised and baffled and busy all because of Hampton. Now here he was, no longer hungry and very happy. And they weren't. The group slowly began to surround Hampton. Hampton began to back away from them. But just then, right before they were going to pounce on the portly pig, they smelled his food.
I'm getting hungry.
Said Buster.
I need food.
Said Babs.
I'm starving.
Said Plucky.
I'm famished.
Said Furball.
I need supper.
Said Sweetie. So they all sat down to a hearty meal. Full of food and fun, the buddies boarded the bus back to school. But not before a stop at the gift shop. They each bought a miniature magical funhouse mirror.
These are amazing mirrors.
Bubbled Babs.
They make you look any way you can imagine yourself to be.
And everyone agreed.